FBI Director Kash Patel, of course, newly declassified memos reveal former FBI leadership authorized classified leaks while misleading Congress. Thanks to President Trump's push for transparency, the cover-up is finally being exposed. Accountability must follow. And this headline here, exclusive prosecutors secured evidence Comey authorized classified leaks but declined charges. Awful convenient. And we do have an article that he linked down in the comments. So we will have a look at this from Just the News. And federal prosecutors, they gathered evidence from James Comey's top lieutenants that he authorized the leak of classified information to reporters just before the 2016 election, but declined to bring criminal charges, according to recently declassified memos that call into question the former FBI director's testimony to Congress. The bombshell revelations involving ex-FBI General Counsel James Baker and ex-Comey Chief of Staff James Rabicki, I can't remember how to say his name, Rabicki, were memorialized in documents that FBI Director Kash Patel discovered earlier this year, but the passages were originally redacted by the Justice Department in versions sent to Congress earlier this month. Attorney General Pam Bondi intervened and eliminated the redactions, dispatching new versions of the memos this week to the House and Senate Judiciary committees, officials told Just the News. The memos detail evidence and interviews gathered by U.S. Postal Inspection Service agents concerning classified information leaked to the New York Times in October 2016, ahead of the November election in which Republican Trump defeated Hillary Clinton. The USPIS investigation also revealed Baker disclosed USG, which is U.S. government, classified information to the New York Times under the belief that he was ultimately instructed and authorized to do so by then FBI Director James Comey. One summary memo read, quote, for example, during interviews, Baker indicated FBI Chief of Staff James Rabicki instructed him, Baker, to disclose the information to the New York Times, and Baker understood Rabicki was conveying this instruction and authorization from Comey. The memos don't identify the specific pieces of classified information that were leaked or whether Comey or anyone else was authorized to declassify them for the media. I hope we find out what it is. I don't know why they haven't told us. I mean, is it really that classified that the American people just can't know 9 years later? It has to do with the election, obviously, because why would they have released it just a couple of weeks before the election or leaked the information? I think if it probably had to do with the whole Russia hoax, wouldn't they have just come out and say that? I don't know, but anyway. But they were investigated by multiple prosecutors, including the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C., under Trump's first administration, and by future Special Prosecutor John Durham, and all declined to bring criminal charges, the memo showed, of course. All right, so anyway, Bondi told Just the News on Thursday she was committed to bringing accountability for the yet unpunished leaks. Good. This document produced at my direction confirms what many Americans have long suspected. Former FBI Director James Comey and his chief of staff engaged in abhorrent conduct, she said. There must be accountability for those who were entrusted with safeguarding our nation's secrets and failed to do so. They better put him in front of cameras. I know he is subpoenaed. He's subpoenaed to speak before Congress in about a month or so. They better put his ass in front of cameras because the American people deserve to see this shit. He deserves to get absolutely grilled by the Oversight Committee. Absolutely. And I hope they do. I really do. Something tells me that they're probably going to be behind closed doors. I mean, I suppose I could probably look it up here real quick. Let me just do that just so I don't forget my spot because I have a tendency to do that. So let's see. Oh, it's got to think about it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I switched it to expert. I should have put it back to regular. Oh, good grief. Come on, man. Come on, Grok. All right. Well, we'll come back to that in a second. So Comey previously denied during congressional testimony that he had ever been a source in the news articles related to the FBI's investigations into Trump and Clinton, and further denied that he had ever approved of anyone else at the FBI being such a source. He has long denied any wrongdoing and insisted he has been politically attacked because he stood up to Trump. Patel told Just the News the evidence he uncovered raised concerns that one of his predecessors may have authorized illegal hacks and lied about it. Quote, these newly declassified memos show how former FBI leadership authorized classified leaks and withheld the truth from Congress and the American people, he said. Thanks to President Trump's commitment to transparency, the cover-up is being exposed. The public deserves nothing less than full accountability. And you can read the declassified FBI memos right here, which I will link down in the description for you. It'll be on Just the News/sites, so you can look for that link below. This one also is going to be down there too, so they're most likely going to be right next to each other. So a recent barrage of declassified documents showing Comey and current Senator Adam Schiff, Democrat of California, may have been behind national security leaks over the last decade designed to harm Trump may prove more than just an exercise in historical accountability. Legal experts say the statute of limitations for prosecution under espionage laws for leaks back in 2016 or 17 can be extended to 10 years if the act was knowing and willful and harmed national security or was part of an ongoing criminal conspiracy that continued into the last 5 years, which it had to have. The general federal statute of limitations is 5 years, but espionage that harms our national interest is 10 years, and covering up the crime continues the conspiracy. Yeah, explained Mike Davis, a former top Senate Judiciary Committee lawyer who now runs the nonprofit Article 3 Project on Constitutional Law. The Trump DOJ can open up a criminal probe that investigates this malicious disclosure of classified information that harms our national interests, he said. Patel recently opened a criminal investigation examining the last decade of U.S. intelligence abuses and political weaponization as an ongoing criminal conspiracy stretching from the now disgraced Russia collusion probe to the raid on Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago, Florida. Bondi has created a strike force to examine the allegations and authorize the use of grand juries, while one of her top deputies, Harmeet Dillon, told Just the News one of the crimes that could be charged is the deprivation of civil liberties under color of government authority. There's also a question of whether Congress was obstructed by false statements and withheld documents, which I'm sure they were. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, Republican of Iowa, asked Comey in May of 2017 whether he had ever been an anonymous source in news reports about matters relating to the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation, which I just played that about a week ago on the show. And Comey replied, never. Grassley then asked whether Comey had ever authorized someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports about the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation. Comey again testified no. When asked whether any classified information relating to President Trump or his associates had ever been declassified and shared with journalists, Comey said, not to my knowledge. And he did ask him that, like in that order, back to back. There have been a variety of leaks, Comey also said at the time. Leaks are always a problem, but especially in the past 3 to 6 months. Coming from him, coming from you, dude. He did not immediately respond to a request for comment sent to him by Just the News through his personal book website, and I'm sure he won't. Rybicki did not immediately respond to a request for comment, so on and so forth. So there's quite a bit left of this to go. I'm not going to be able to read all this, but look at all this information, man. A lot of information that you can read through. Holy crap, it just keeps going and going and going and going. So if you want to get brushed up on exactly what's going on with Comey, the leaks, probably some information on the Russia hoax, Trump's Mar-a-Lago home getting raided. I believe that was by the FBI, wasn't it? So yeah, I'm sure they include all of that information in this article. So that will be linked below, justthenews.com. So I've got, I think, like 35 different posts to get through, so I can't get hung up too long on one particular article. That's why I'm just not able to read it all the way through. But I at least want to share it and then show you just at least part of it, if not most of it. But yeah, they typically put the most pertinent information up there near the top of news articles. That's more or less how it works. So anyway, let me just check and see if this is done. Yes, James Comey's upcoming deposition on October 7th, 2025 before the House Oversight Committee's Federal Law Enforcement Subcommittee will be behind closed doors. Fuck. You know, I was almost thinking about taking off work for that day. Well, there's no damn point now. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me take this off expert. I know they're all going to be, but... I'm sure they're all going to be. I'm sure they will. Come on, Grok. Yes, all subpoenaed testimonies before the House Oversight Committee's Federal Law Enforcement Subcommittee, including those of Bill and Hillary Clinton, James Comey, and the others, are scheduled to be conducted behind closed doors. So I hope you didn't have your hopes up for that, because all of these banger testimony events that are going to take place, we're not going to get to see any of them, which is a massive letdown. So I don't know if maybe they're going to hold one behind closed doors, and if they reveal enough information that the public should be made aware of, maybe they might do that. I mean, they've given public testimonies before, but perhaps not as an official working for the government, because when James Comey was testifying last time, at least to my knowledge, he was still the FBI director. And I know Hillary Clinton, she's been in front of Congress a couple times. I think the last time that at least I can remember, I think it was still during the Obama administration. So maybe they just put them behind closed doors when they're not active government officials. I mean, maybe not, though. Maybe they just want to do it behind closed doors so they can get literally every piece of information they possibly can. And some stuff they may not, it technically could be classified for whatever reason. But anyway, I mean, the main point of them getting subpoenaed isn't with regard to the Russia hoax. It's with regard to the Epstein files, at least to my knowledge. So, but they are planning on bringing that up, though. They are going to bring up the Russiagate debacle, the witch hunt,